Please come to the microphone.
I gotta do my purple pen ritual. Sorry.
Isn't that the purple crayon, James, and the purple,
Yes.
Brett and the purple pen? We're gonna write about it.
Yes.
Welcome, Brett in the purple pen.
Yes, and to be clear for the record, my name is Brett from Carmel Hamlet, not Brett in the purple pen. But if I can, I want to echo the last thing that, and I'm sorry, I believe Attorney Steiner just said. I don't think it's fair to make Rainmaker East a scapegoat. But I also don't think that that's a fair characterization of what's happening here tonight. When I spoke to you all at the full legislative meeting in July, I believe, when all the farms went for their final approval in front of the full body of the legislature, I implored you to do what you had not done in the past, which is to follow the advice of your expert ag board. That was something that was specifically mentioned when this county law department was defeated in Supreme Court in front of Judge Grossman. When the words arbitrary and capricious are thrown around, it is because applications of the law are not being applied consistently. And that's what had not been going on for years regarding the ag district. This year was a marked turn towards doing just that, applying the law consistently, applying the criteria consistently, applying the process consistently. The county has broad authority when it comes to inclusion in the ag district to meet that criteria, so long as it is being consistent and it is following the law. It has done that. When this ag district first came into existence in the early 2000s here in Putnam County, one of its intents by the people who fought to bring it here was that it would be a reward for the hardworking farmers that had an operation that was producing results in operation, and to reward them for their hard work with added protection from inconvenient or inappropriate intimidation from municipalities. Okay? Now what we're saying tonight is that you are rewarded if you know the right people. And that's not a personal attack at Mr. Lepler, who everyone I've ever spoken to, I've never met the gentleman, I know he's here tonight, but everyone I've spoken to has nothing but amazing things to say about him as a person, and I believe that to be true. I don't fault him for pursuing every avenue available to him. That's not the issue here. The issue is when it comes to our elected officials, you guys. And apparently in this case, according to the revelation tonight, our county executive. The reality is that we need to hold everybody to the same fair process, whether you are a working class family doing your damnedest to get your farm off the ground, or you're a wealthy developer connected to the political class. It shouldn't matter. That's the entire point of due process under the law. Tonight, we may be taking a step towards saying that doesn't matter, because the law in terms of ag and markets, in terms of our process here in Putnam County for including farms in the ag district, was followed. That is clear. You cannot show up on a site visit, not have any infrastructure, or the very animal for which you're applying for on the land itself, and then be in the ag district. It seemed to have been a pretty clear precedent that's been set. As I said, the county has broad authority on how to apply that process, as long as it is consistent with the law and consistent with its own stated criteria. You did that this year. You listened to your ag board. 8 farms got in, 2 didn't, and that's okay. If Mr. Lepler's farm was being scapegoated and being singled out, he would be the only farm who didn't get in. But the same criteria that was used to not have him in Rainmaker East, it was the same criteria used not to have in the second farm that wasn't allowed in. That is anything but arbitrary. That is anything but capricious. It is consistent. So tonight, the legislature, this committee, and then somehow, apparently, I'm not even sure how this even got on the special full agenda yet, but fine. This body has an opportunity tonight to say one of 2 things. Either one, the ag board doesn't matter, the county's own process doesn't matter. If you have the means and you know the right people, you can get things done. And if you don't have the means, if you don't know the right people, and you just heard many people reached out to the very same people Mr. Lepler did and couldn't get a call back. So if you don't have those means, if you don't have those connections, you don't get that benefit. That's something you can say tonight if you vote yes on this. Or you could do the right thing. Stick with your expert ag board, volunteers who volunteer their time to make this happen. Stick with your process, stick with your criteria, and say that we have due process for everyone. Everyone follows the same rules. Everyone follows the same laws, the same criteria, the same timelines, the same deadlines. Those are your choices tonight.